Match one follow the 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from Virginia Beach, Virginia at 240 pounds, Terry Allen. His opponent from Mexico City, Mexico at 220 pounds, Raul Mata.
Raul Mata moving out against Terry Allen.
Well, it looks like with these two men in the ring right now, Raul Mata and Terry Allen, two very fast-moving athletes, young athletes in terrific condition, a lot of terrific wrestling moves. These two men can really go. They have a lot of stamina, a lot of courage, a lot of ability. This should be a classic wrestling match, Gordon.
Be a good move by Mata as he feinted to the shoulders into a good leg dive, and Allen broke it up. Utilized, and again, a double leg dive by, and again, Terry Allen breaks it up, and Mata that time spun all the way outside the ring.
It seemed like Raul Mata could have been trying for a full Boston Crab. It looked like Terry Allen was about one step ahead of him, able to outthink him and just outmaneuver him right there at the very last second.
Good counters by Terry Allen, and on both occasions.
Well, there's Raul Mata with a side headlock, just trying to put that pressure on. No real damage can be done with a side headlock other than just to wear your opponent down, get them tired.
Allen close to the canvas this time, up and over, and Mata projected halfway across that ring, and as Mata tried to charge that time, Allen slipped to one side. And Mata's having a handful of problems here.
Well, that could have been a very costly mistake on the part of Raul Mata. The man that makes the fewer mistakes will normally always come out on top. And
Gordon, I was away from the set for a few seconds, not to interrupt you, but I wanted to verify the signature on that check. It's hard for me to believe that Rufus R. Jones could amass the sum of $5,000, but I'm told that, in fact, it is a legitimate check. So with his name, along with Leroy Brown, shaping up with that field of Big John Studd, Big Nasty Angelo Mosca, Barry Windham, Ron Bass, and, of course, Dusty Rhodes, the field going after the Global Heavyweight Championship belt and the $100,000 grand prize has already got to be the greatest field for any single tournament of anyone that I've ever heard in my entire wrestling career. And I think the fans in Phoenix and Tucson and Reno, wherever the tournament is eventually held, it's just going to be something that's going to go down in the record books as the outstanding thing of the year, for sure.
No question about that. And, of course, inquiries are coming in from all over the world. And it's not going to surprise me at all if we don't end up with entries from all parts of the world. There will be, of course, 20 entries to make up each entry putting up $5,000, which will make up the $100,000 purse.
You know, on many different occasions where there is a tournament for a championship or whatever the case might be, the promotion puts up the title or maybe $5,000 or $10,000. But in a case like this, where the wrestler himself has to put up $5,000, this is what really separates the men from the boys. This is going to assure you that only the very best in the entire world will take a chance with their own money by putting up $5,000 of their own to get in this tournament and compete.
I agree with you, buddy. I think you've been in many tournaments throughout your career, and the fact that you do have to put up a considerable amount of money just to get in it kind of weeds out those that maybe aren't up to caliber. And what you end up with is the finest, and that makes the field that much tougher, and it makes it that much harder to predict an eventual winner.
Absolutely, JJ. Right here, I believe this is going to be one of the finest tournaments ever in the history of wrestling. And the city that is fortunate enough to land this title, the people that are fortunate enough to see this, they will be seeing something that will be going down the annals of wrestling history.
Mata now beginning to turn on the steam on Terry Allen, and he's got that left shoulder bothered. And Allen, who has been doing some outstanding counter wrestling throughout this match, may find that capability somewhat impaired as Mata continues to punish him.
Well, Raul Mata has wrestled around the world. He's been around for quite some time, and Raul Mata knows all the tricks of the trade. He doesn't have to take a back seat to anyone. And looks like Terry Allen coming right back with a forearm right upside his head.
Allen with a newfound look of intensity on his face at this point in time. Now retaliating in kind against Raul Mata. And those deltoids have taken a pounding now.
Terry Allen is one of the most improved wrestlers in this past year. Global Wrestling has brought him out the finest. And Terry Allen may have been a little out of his league at one point, but he has matured at a faster rate than any other young athlete that I've seen in several years.
with 2 beautiful drop kicks, and now another forearm that puts Terry Allen down to 1 knee, and he's hanging on those ring ropes of Mata.
Well, you know, he come under contract with me, the sky's would be the limit, because I could do some things with him if he'd just clear his mind and listen to everything that I told him. And you can already see the fans start cheering, and his head gets turned, and his ears perk up, and he would forget everything that I would tell him, and it would be a dismal failure in the end. And that'll probably be the real shortcoming in his career.
Wow, interesting philosophical observation by one J.J. Dillon, and a good power slam by Terry Allen, and timekeeper thought that he had the count of 3, but he did not. A count of 2, and he has him hooked now. Count of 3, and he had him. Count of 3, and he's all over, and so